It is November 24th, 2020. We're here in the backyard of the property at 1058 Agate Street in San Diego, California, 92109. As we pan across the decking here before you get to the back parking pieces that are off of the alleyway, we have two cleanouts that were installed. We have 4-inch ABS pipe here. We're going to go down the cleanout at first that sweeps away from the property and towards the alleyway. This is all new construction, just confirming everything has proper slope and that there's no construction debris or anything tied in improperly on the system. As you can see, it's all open. Now when we did arrive here, because it's obviously all new, we did go ahead and flush all 3 toilets inside the house to put water in the system. That will also be an indicator that everything is not holding water, which it shouldn't. It's supposed to have downhill slope the whole way. So we're now coming up to the end of the ABS plastic, and it's converting to Greenbelt PVC plastic. So this is the piping that the city contractors put in from the property line out typically. So the fittings are white, the pipe is green. Running across this here, a little piece of debris, looks like a T or a tie-in right there. And then we have some clay pipe it looks like we're jumping into here. So it looks like the city didn't reline or redo all of their pieces. We go back into clay pipe right here. Let's see if we can maneuver through. It's a little bit an offset on the rubber boot. You can see there's the wall of the clay pipe. So we're going to have to push through this or grab a second camera to get by this point. We'll see here. We're kind of binding up on there, so we'll grab a second camera and try to push across this with another camera, leaving this one in its place. So we're going to pause the video. Okay, so we've got our second camera pushed in. You can see our first camera laying in there, this path right here. And we did notice a little chunk of debris that was there at this T-junction. Now, we assume this T-junction is either a property line clean out, or because there was another unit constructed right next door, this could be a T-junction where they come together before they dump into the city in the alleyway. But we can't go into the alleyway and confirm that because they're pouring the concrete right now in that back spot. So that little piece of debris moved out of the way from our camera and just got pushed in there. So again, it's either coming from clean out access or it could be from the other unit. So at this point it's not a concern, it's not in our line. Okay, so you can see we just pushed the other camera by there. We had just sometimes the way they lay in the angle, so now we got the first camera by the second one blocking the area. So we're now going to go ahead and switch cameras back over to the first one. Okay, so record just skipped there. So we have a little bit of debris right here on this clay pipe. So we're going to run some water down the system right here to confirm and see what this is, if it's roots, construction debris, or just some toilet paper in the line. Okay, so we've got that water just settling down from we ran the downstairs sink and shower really quick. The toilet was turned off, so we couldn't flush that. So as we come up to that, see it kind of just already moved out of the way. So it looks like it was just some soft debris, but we wanted to verify that. Then you can see those are some cobwebs there. Those aren't obviously tree roots, they're very fine cobwebs. We'll get a lot of spiders living in the lines. So we're now going down at a much steeper angle here. Looks like we do have clay is ending, and we've got back to a possibly PVC or a relined piece of pipe right here. And then you can see there's a slight offset, so you can see there's this little lake or pool of water, and then we're hitting the wall of the pipe right there, and it actually looks like the rubber boot that was used to connect it has been kind of smashed, and the pipe is actually misaligned now, They're off kilter, and it looks like what we're looking at right there is mud and dirt and rocks. So we're going to run some water through the system, but it does look like the pipe right here has become detached. And so this can get worse over time, obviously, but it's an issue right now. So we can't locate this because it's going to be in the alleyway. This would have been work that typically would not have been done by the people constructing this home. This would have been done by the city contractors' work, but maybe they did for this construction. We don't know. So we're going to try to jump over this because this should be the very last turn before we get to the city. Okay, we just jumped over that, and that's a big turn on the line. Now we're hanging down vertically almost at a 90-degree spot right there. And then here's the bottom turn right here. And there you go. There's the large city line right there that was put in. So this was all newer pipe. So that's all the water that's flowing from the neighboring houses that are upstream coming down. So we're now going to go ahead and back up here. Come back up this vertical pipe here. Across this almost 90 or 60-degree turn, whatever they used. And then we're back into this little lake or pool of water that's hanging out. This will never go away. But again, our bigger concern is this possibly opened up section right here, which looks like, as you can see on the left side of the screen, the end of the pipe, the beginning of the next, and there's some debris sitting in between, and that looks like just clay, dirt, rocks, earth. So we'll run a bunch of water through here, and sometimes just by laying the camera right here, that can kind of clean up the image. We'll see. Obviously, over time, this can get squashed even more. This is a thin Schedule 10 or 20 pipe. ABS and PVC pipe that we normally use for inside a home is a Schedule 40, which is a very thick wall. This is a little bit thinner wall material that they use, and so it's a little bit springier. It doesn't have the same strength. The other concern is if the line ever, for some reason, had to be snaked, the cable or the cutting bits can bind on this when the pipe is offset like this and the wall is exposed, and it can damage the bits, it can damage the pipe. Things can bind and catch on that. So unlikely this would probably lead to main sewer line stoppages. We've got a pretty good slope and pitch on the pipe right here. So our camera, and it should show it on the bottom left of the recording, we're going down at a pretty good angle right here, already about negative almost 15 degrees, and then we come up to that other turn, which probably is a 60-degree turn, puts us at about minus 75 degrees once we get past this point. So gravity will help. It's not a typical horizontal pipe, which is going to be negative 2 degrees, which is the 1/4 inch of slope per foot. It's a little bit more than that, but we're still a little concerned about that. Now, we can't, again, locate this because we can't walk in the alleyway. So we're going to go ahead now and pause the video and see by running some water if we get a little bit better view of this. Okay, so we just found out that actually we can get into part of the alleyway where they're pouring concrete is in the unit right next door, 1060. This was a single house that was developed into a 2-lot property. So you can see right here with the running water, we have a crystal clear view. You can see these little rocks and debris right there. And so again, the pipes are misaligned. We usually pour small rocks and aggregate around the sewer pipe. And probably during the process of it being backfilled, and then it has to be tampered and compacted to a certain ratio, obviously because then they have to pour concrete eventually over it so nothing sinks or develops a sinkhole literally. They may have dumped all this material onto the top of the pipe or compacted it with the tampering machines, and it squashed the pipe and they became just detached, slightly ovalized, and now misaligned, and now we've got this little area of concern right here where the pipe that we're traveling on is lower now, and it's also separated from the next hub or coupling adjoining the next piece of pipe. So you can see again this little rock and debris. We have the kitchen cold water running right now, so you can get this nice crystal clear view of what's going on right here. So we're now going to go ahead and leave our camera right up to the edge of this, and we're going to go ahead and pause and locate to see if this is in the alleyway under the new concrete they're pouring literally right now, or if it's some of the other stuff right behind this unit's parking spaces. Okay, so we've located this pipe. It is directly in the middle of the alleyway, and it is away from the new concrete that was being poured. And the pipe is 7.5 feet deep, and the construction crew that did the work here did say that they had not put all this plastic in. This was work that was supposedly done by the city. That's not for us to say, that's just what they stated. So he stated, though, that they did only go up to the property line or right at the edge of the alleyway and tied into the clay pipe, which is right here. So you can see that the clay pipe is ending right here, and then we are basically from 3'2" to 4'10", so we're about a little over 1.5 feet away from that connection point that he did where we have this little issue. So as we back up, here's the clay. That's a few feet long, as you can see. And then here's the Greenbelt PVC pipe. So the contractor states that they connected from right here where this Greenbelt PVC is, and he connected onto the clay. And that's right at the edge of the alleyway, but everything else was not dug up farther beyond this point and replaced, which makes sense because the clay pipe would be strange for them to leave that for the person that was building this home. It seems like they would have replaced that if they then put in the plastic after that. So what they were saying makes sense, but it doesn't help the situation that's right here. I'm going to move our other camera back in here again. There we go. Get past this point again if we can. We did verify this T-junction right here that you see on the side. That is a property line clean out for this house. It is not a tie-in for the neighboring house. It was buried under the dirt and rocks in there, but we did see the clean out lit access there, which they're going to lower once they get all the dirt and debris out of the way. So again, we've got right here, we're going to back up just a few inches, so we're right there. Zero off our counter. So as we travel down the line here, we have approximately 3.5 feet of clay pipe. So it does make sense that this was not the plastic that we're dumping into right here, part of the work that this house was constructed with by this contractor and builder. But here's this issue with this piece right here. Now again, we're not going to say that right now it's going to lead to any stoppages. We just don't know long term if it could lead to some issues with the line. Unfortunately, all that can be done at that point is this video can be submitted to the city with a plumber's report and see if they're willing to do anything about it. It's unlikely. They might just maintain the line until it gets worse. In the city of San Diego, though, if the line ever does become completely broken or collapsed upon itself, the city will take care of this for the homeowner. It's not the homeowner's responsibility past the property line clean out. For roots, they have to maintain it, but if a pipe is cracked, broken, or collapsed, the city will take care of that if it got to that point. So we're now going to go ahead and pause the video, and we're going to go look at the line back inside the house. Okay, so here's the clean out we just went through. We actually have our other camera still in there, the second one we put in. Here's the other clean out farther from the house, and this sweeps back into the house because they crisscross each other the way they should. And now we're going to go back in across. There's the camera that comes down. So we are now looking back across the concrete deck area here, headed back towards the house. We should have positive slope here on our digital counter in the bottom left of the screen. But again, we should see no water, no construction debris, and everything should look clean as far as the alignments from connectors and T's. Now the bathroom, okay, well, looks like we've got some kind of construction debris or something in the line right there. So I don't know what that is. It could be a piece of wood. It could be anything. We just don't know. So got this stuck in the pipe right here. Looks like two pieces of something that were together across. So we're going to go ahead and take a quick photo of this, and we're going to go ahead and pause and locate to see where this is at on the property. It may also move if we get the camera by it, if it's very small, so we'll see as we push our camera by here, see if the object moved. Yep, it looked like it's slightly shifted there. Well, it's hard to say. Okay, we're going to pause and locate, see where this is at. Okay, so we've located this inside the house. So when you're in this back courtyard area, going back through the slider doors, it's 5 feet into the house. The sewer pipe is 2 feet deep. We've got some discs marked on the inside the house showing where the path of the pipe is, and another disc denoting where this little coupling. So it's actually a glue coupling. It looks like the objects or debris are caught on this coupling. It probably can be snaked out. It's very unlikely it's going to need to be dug up. So a metal snaking cable cutting bit can try to rip this out, and or a chain knocker system to break it out. And then with plenty of running water, it should be able to get washed out. But you would have to use a camera for obviously the person purchasing this to verify that it's been removed and that is not stuck farther down the line. So you'll have to go ahead and do another small video recording showing the removal of this object and that it's been cleared out from here all the way back out to the city in the alleyway. So we're now going to continue down the line right there. Again, with our camera and push rod, we'll see if the object gets kind of moved or shifted at all during this process. It may do that and get flushed out. So again, here's a T-junction right here. We do have one bathroom downstairs, but we have all the others on the multiple floors above. We have 3 stories altogether. So this is going to be the T-junctions where things dump in. Now our kitchen is also on the left-hand side where this line's coming from. So this could be the T-junction itself where the kitchen ties in. We will walk to the perimeter of the property and see if there's a clean out for the downstairs kitchen here or the downstairs bathroom. But I think the bathroom is inside enough that it may not have one because I don't believe it's next to an exterior wall, but we'll have to verify that. So we're going to continue down the line. So again, you can see no other debris is in the line. It's not holding any water, so that's what we're looking for. Everything else is looking good. Here's our another T-junction right there. Here's some more of our T-junctions picking up everything, and then here's the last of our T-junction right here picking up, and then you can see we're now actually reducing into the smaller pipe because this is the last point where it's actually a sewer line. From in front of this, it's basically going to be just a drain line. What's in front of this farther up on the property in the very top floor is the laundry. So that would probably be right here where the laundry, and that's why laundry only has to be a 2-inch pipe, whereas the main sewer has to be 3 and 4. So that's why we're going back uphill rather than downstream. That's why this pipe is actually getting smaller right there. So probably, we're able to jump over that. So we'll just continue down this smaller pipe right here. And here's a small turn on the line. Now we're headed up quite heavily. So as we go upstream, it gets harder to push the camera in comparison. So we'll see if we can get just to the last bit. Nope, here's the last bit right here. So here's the turn where now it's making the 90-degree turn to go up the wall for the laundry. So this is the very beginning of the drain line for the house. And as we back up, it catches into the sewer line. So we'll back up across the property right here just a little bit more back to the T-junction through this 2-inch since there was no T-junctions on there. So we're going to go ahead and pause the video and just see if we do have another clean out for any of the ground level kitchen or bathrooms. Okay, so we did find on the east side of the house, which is the side the kitchen's off of essentially, that there are 3 cleanouts there. One for the kitchen, and we have 2 others for the sewer lines from the upper floors for access points. So we're going to leave this camera in the line, and we're going to take our second camera and go from each of those cleanouts to verify those 3 lines again are proper slope, no construction debris, and no issues with the piping. And we'll see where each of those 3 then connect into the main sewer, and we'll be able to see that by leaving the first camera in the line. Okay, so we're now here on the side of the house, again off the kitchen side. Here's a little gate. We have one 3-inch ABS sewer main access point right here. It is 3 stories. We're surprised we don't see cast iron. We're going to try to take this camera and kind of look up the line. Typically, it's required for fire code on 3 stories or more. You also usually want it for sound deadening purposes for the water flowing down the pipe. We're just going to try to look up. It does look like it's all ABS. We're assuming it was approved by the city, past inspection though, but a little unusual. But anyway, we're going to look down this line now here. This is going along with the flow of the system. Sometimes these T-junctions are a little bit tricky with a couple 90s in a row like this. There we go. Finally got the camera to move on the system there. A little debris on the top there, but it's nothing. Here's our turn on this main sewer going across. One T-junction right there, and there's our other camera. So you can see there's the other camera that we left inside the sewer pipe there. So we're now going to go ahead and pause and move over to the next clean out, which is the kitchen clean out. Okay, so there's the kitchen window right there. Here's our 2-inch ABS clean out. Go down this line, see here. Now running across this horizontal line. And there you go, there's our spring right there from the other camera. Nice quick short run where that one connects into. So we'll now move down to the last clean out we have on this side of the house. Okay, so here's this last 3-inch clean out. Getting closer to the back of the house. Got a little piece of debris right there. I don't know if that's just glue. We can literally reach our fingers in and grab that. Yeah, it looks like just Teflon tape or glue. Looks like glue. So I got that out of the way. This should be a very short run until it connects into the other main sewer with our cameras in. Got just a little chunk of debris right there. It's really nothing. Move down line here. And there's our orange-red push rod from the other camera. So that's it for this one, is clear as well. So everything looks good on all these branch runs at the ground level. There's never going to be issues on the vertical, of course. It's rare, gravity alone pulling everything down, so we don't check those out and can't. So we're now going to move back to the first camera that we have in and look at that item to see when we pull back if it's shifted or moved at all. Okay, so we're now pulling back the other camera we first went in to look inside the house. So we'll pull back up here. Since we've unplugged it, our distance counter's changed. We know we were at originally 20 feet in, so we're just going to show everything here as we come back up to see if that's still in the line or if it's shifted from the camera and the push rod going in and out here. Should be coming up in a few feet. That might have been it right there. Might have been a loose debris that got moved out already. Yeah, it looks like we might have broken that apart, whatever that was. Yep, they're already to the clean out here. So, nothing's attached to the face of our camera. So, whatever that was, whether it was some glue with some little debris caught on it, we're not really sure, but it's shifted and moved out of the line, so it's actually... we don't need to show the markings that we made inside the property now because just from the cameras moving to alone, it's washed it all out. So we're going to go ahead and wipe off our lens here and just see from the other clean out if it's shifted down that part of the line. So we're going to pause 1 second, reopen this lid. Okay, this is the one going away from the house. So we just want to double check to see. And so whatever it was, it definitely got... It was very small with a piece of glue and some colorization to it. I don't know, but it's not in the line anymore. It got moved away, so that's good news. So that's one less little miniature thing to have to worry about. So it's definitely not in the system. Here's the green bell PVC pipe already. So no concerns there. So everything else has a clean bill of health on the property. The only small issue is the line for this house a few feet before it connects to the city. Other than that, that concludes the recording for this property.